So there is something that's been driving me crazy for a really long time in the running world that I want to address today. Now, you've all seen those how to fix bad running form videos where they talk about stride analysis, they talk about heel striking being bad, they talk about having this perfect 180 cadence number or else bad things are going to happen. And the views that these videos get, alongside the number of questions I get from athletes who come to me for coaching or potential athletes talking about this in the comments on my videos, show that there is this widespread fixation on trying to achieve what people believe to be this perfect running form. But what if I told you that this obsession is typically a waste of your precious time? That trying to fix something that isn't even broken could actually hurt your running progress. So today we're gonna dive into the truth about why you shouldn't worry very much about your running form, even though everyone seems to be saying that you should. And in the process of this video, I'll reveal what truly matters when it comes to staying injury-free as a runner and unlocking your fastest running self. So number one, there's no best way to prevent running injury. So often, runners are told that the reason that they are getting injured is because they are running with bad form. Overpronation, underpronation, heel striking, those seem to be the most common offenders or what people continue to say people are doing wrong, and that's why they're getting hurt. But according to a published study summarized in Outside Online, and I'm quoting, "There is not a single protective gait pattern reducing the likelihood of developing running-related injuries." Basically, no connection was found between someone's specific running style and injury type. Number two, there's no best form to run the fastest. The most simple way to share this point is that everybody's body is different, everyone's biomechanics are different, and therefore whatever is efficient for one person is not going to be the same for another person. Which means there's no perfect single running form that suits everyone. All you have to do here is look at the front of the pack in a elite running race, and you'll see that there are all different running forms out there. And the most interesting thing is often the ones that are in the lead have a running form that doesn't look efficient at all. So the reality is that forcing yourself into a certain running type that you think is supposed to be the best or someone told you is the best could actually lead to really uncomfortable running for you and even injury. And to emphasize this point is a quote from Dr. Matt Trudeau, a biomechanics and ergonomics researcher and senior research scientist at Brooks Running, who was quoted in this Runner's World article. "If you deviate away from that natural motion path when you run, even when you are trying to use someone's idea of perfect Olympian form, that leads to straining and uneven loading on your joints, which makes you prone to repetitive stress injuries." So as stated there, and to continue on with that point, number three, trying to fix your form can actually backfire. The obsession over fixing your running form is actually going to be counterproductive in most cases. Now, if you're working with a physical therapist, this could look a little bit different as they are finding an imbalance in an injury that you had. That is different than fixing your running form when absolutely nothing is wrong or you have no injury. If everything is going well, there's no reason for you to fix what you are doing. I'm going to talk a little bit more in a minute about why that's true and what you can keep doing in the meantime. But trying to force your body into an idealized form will likely feel very unnatural. It will not be efficient for you at all, and it can even lead to an injury. So a perfect example of this, which I was in this position, is someone who naturally heel strikes and someone comes along and tells them that that's bad and they should become a mid or forefoot striking runner. If you make this transition too quickly, which most people are going to do because they're probably not under the guidance of anyone and they're just reading this in a book or watching a video, you're going to get an Achilles injury or something because you're putting this load on your body that it's absolutely not used to. Now, you can make these transitions in a very slow way, but it doesn't even really make sense to be a heel striker and then change to a mid-foot striker if you're thinking, well, it probably would be worth it, right? It's going to make me faster. It's going to make me less prone to injury in the future. Let me go ahead and give you this quote from another study that's titled, "Is changing foot strike pattern beneficial to runners?" And they concluded that changing to a mid or forefoot strike does not improve running economy, does not eliminate impact at the foot-ground contact, and does not reduce the risk of running-related injuries. So for all those times that you've heard that heel striking is bad, you're going to get hurt, you need to just forget that thought. You're going to become your most efficient running self by running in the way that is most comfortable for you. And the fourth reason why you shouldn't be placing this overemphasis on changing your running form is simply the mental burden that is going to come along with you trying to change it. Constantly analyzing and critiquing your running form will take the joy out of running so fast. You are not going to want to do it anymore. You're going to wonder why you're spending so much time on this. It can create unnecessary stress and pressure on you to try to perfect this running form that doesn't even feel good. That's not what most recreational runners need to be focusing on, not even close. So that leads you to probably asking, well, what does matter? What does matter for you in making sure that you're doing to prevent injury? Because that's not fun for anyone. We know we can't be making progress when we're injured. And what does matter when it comes to becoming the fastest that you can be? I'm going to answer those questions real quick right now. So our bodies are remarkably adaptable, meaning that when you go out and do an exercise, your body is going to find that form that is best for you. You're going to naturally adapt when you are putting your body into these situations. So it wants to make this particular exercise that you're doing the most comfortable as possible, the most efficient as possible, ultimately with consistency. So consistent running here is really important. Your body is going to naturally gravitate towards a really efficient form and comfortable form that's perfect just for you. Second, this is the big one. We've got to focus on what is most important. So too often athletes are focusing on that tiny 2%, those little things that they think that they should be doing, which really don't matter that much in the grand scheme, and they're not paying attention enough to that 98% where they really need to be spending the majority of their time if they want to become the best runner that they can be. So I'm not in this video saying that running form doesn't matter at all. I'm just saying there is a lot of low, easily accessible, hanging fruit that matters much, much more. So once you do all these things, if you really want to work with a PT or a running specialist to work on your running form to get that last little edge, you can do that. But the reality is most people are not even doing all of these other things. They haven't been running long enough to really reap the benefits of consistent running over a long period of time. So factors like training volume, intensity, nutrition, sleep, strength training, all of those are going to play significant roles in your performance, injury prevention, and that's really where you need to put your focus if you want to improve. So a lot of what I'm saying here with running form is like, yes, there's an obsession, there's an overemphasis, and then I still see people doing all the wrong things in their training, and yet they're spending so much time on their running form. So when I have athletes that I'm working with one-on-one, they ask me about the running form, I just tell them, we're gonna work on these majors, the basics, the things that matter, your running form will come. So lastly, the most important thing that you can be doing that is going to help you become fast and help you become the best runner that you can be, and that is literally just run. It really is that simple. You need to run a lot. You need to run a lot for years to come. You should be building really slowly to higher volume. You don't want to do too much too soon. So those are two things that are really important to making sure that you are staying injury free. You want to run mostly easy the majority of the time. You want to be running very fast little bits of the time. You want to be strength training. If you can focus on those basics, I absolutely promise you that over time, you will continue to make progress. You will get faster and faster over time. You will get really fit. You're going to build that aerobic engine. You're going to have the best running economy that you can have for you, be super efficient. And when you're really smart about training, then you're making sure that you're not getting injured in the process either. So that's where your focus should be. And guess what? Your form will naturally improve and become incredibly efficient all while not having to think about it at all. You've now just heard me say running form isn't really a very big deal at all when you've probably been paying attention to a lot of videos saying it's such a big deal. So if you're having a hard time making sense of all of the information out there, I get it. It's totally normal. We can help you as coaches to provide the training that you need, the unique training required for you to get your goals. That's what we're here for. I will place our link below so you can see what services we provide. If you have questions, please place them in the comments below. And as always, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.